I think we're a different team now. We should be. They ambushed us at our own place the last time we got into a big lead, but then they turned it on and ambushed us with energy and just hard play, and that's what we got to do here. Traditionally, when you play here in Denver, you play the first quarter. They're a different team in the first quarter. They come out and just try to run you, get you in the altitude, and we got to be ready for that first punch. And we got to come out, play at our tempo, our pace, and make them play defense. I think they want to get into an up-and-down game and just trade shots. You know, you can get good shots, but you want to get great shots by at least one or two passes and playing on the weak side.
How hard has it been to prepare for these guys? I mean, you don't know really about Lawson. Right. Nate's out, but...
Very much so, because we don't know if Lawson's going to play. There's rumors that he is going to play, so we got to prepare as if he is going to play, because he is the head of the snake. His speed causes a lot of cause and effect things down in the paint. They're one of the top paint scoring teams in the league, so we got to make sure we contain his penetration. And also Fournier, he's doing a good job of penetrating. But Randy Foye is probably playing as well as any of their perimeter players right now as far as shooting the ball, and they're deep. So we got to be ready for that. But again, our matchups are going to depend on who plays.
Last game out against these guys, I think Jonas had a double-double, but they own the boards. I mean, it was Mozgov and Arthur and Hickson.
That is a big part. We've got to protect the paint. Their bigs beat you with energy. They pound you. We did a terrible job at our place against Mozgov, Hickson, Fareed. All those guys, they're going to be crashing. So if we're not ready, it's going to be embarrassing in the paint if we're not prepared and ready to hit their force with our force.
Wednesday was one of the better games for JV and for Mir together in a few weeks. What did you see?
These guys tonight are different animals than we saw. Vujic is a very finesseful player. These guys are animals. They're coming at you with speed, quickness, and athleticism, whereas Orlando are solid big men inside. They're more stationary. They're not as mobile, not as quick as Fareed, not as quick as Hickson, not as quick as Mozgov. For his size, is one of the best big men athletes in the league, and so that's going to be a challenge for all, not just JV, all of our bigs, for Chuck, for all of our bigs.
What's the benefit of having a bench like you do, where guys can play multiple positions? It's both places, Patrick, John.
It's really important, especially with the altitude. We're gonna probably sub a little bit quicker to get guys quick blows until they get adjusted and acclimated to it. Patrick's still not 100%, and so the depth is going to be hugely important. But again, it's a good tool to have.
To make it easier for you with matchup driven, like you can get a guy in three different
depends on
positions.
Who the matchups are.
Yeah.
If it's the matchups are not in our favor, then it's not really good. But it makes it. We have a set rotation. We try to stick with our rotation. And what happens is now some guys can guard. If they go big, they can guard bigger guys. If they can go small, we can go be small with the same lineup. And Patrick really helps that because he can guard bigs. He can guard small power threes, as we call them. So that helps a lot in that situation.
Dwane, you've come to the city a lot over the years. Is there something to be said for coming here first and not in the middle of a trip or not on a back-to-back with that crazy trip from the airport?
Huge. That is so important, Eric, because when you come in this, I don't know the exact record, but it's atrocious coming in on a back-to-back. Getting in at 3 or 4 in the morning, and then now you got to battle altitude. And we've even come from the West Coast to come here. We've come from L.A. and when I was in Dallas, or from in Seattle, and that's even worse on a back-to-back. So it's a tough place to play, but again, you've got to come in with a mindset. You're going to meet their energy. You know what's about to hit you. You got to be mentally and physically prepared to meet their force with your force.
You were talking about some of the bodies for Denver. DeMar, Patrick, do you know yet as far as...
Well, we're going to be game time decision. We're going to see how they feel tonight, how DeMar's ankle feels tonight. Pat's, he says he feels good. We're going to see how he feels tonight.
How about Amir?
And same thing with Amir. Same thing with his ankles. But all guys went through practice this morning, shoot around. So we'll see what happens tonight.